Hi folks, Excisus here. This is a response to Thrifty Kniffy's open tag 6 synthetic knives, and he was really looking at traditionals that have synthetic handles as opposed to modern knives, because a lot of modern knives, and most of you know my kind of favourite everyday carry has been for a long time the Enzo UK-PK. They all come in synthetic covers, but that's a modern knife for you. What I want to look at first is traditional knives. So back in the day, these are both George Wolstenholme knives. They used to use materials like mother of pearl, buffalo horn, ivory, and so forth, but not everybody could afford those, so they made synthetic versions. So the synthetic version of mother of pearl was this cracked ice, and then they made sort of faux ivory knives as well, which are just in various types of plastic. Now I'm not going to put these as three of my knives because that'd be a bit boring, but I'll leave one of these out as an example, and that's the cracked ice one because it reminds me of mother of pearl. It's not the same, but it's very nice, and I still like it as a material. Now, while we're still in Sheffield, I'm a huge collector of Taylor's Eyewitness knives, and all of their budget knives come in with the option of synthetic scales, black synthetic. They also do some that are supposed to be a faux ivory staghorn, but it doesn't look anything like it. Apart from anything else, it's black. This was one of theirs. This shows the satin blade and so forth. I polished this one up a wee bit just for the hell of it, and they actually come out quite nice. The wooden ones are better to polish, of course. One day I'll finish this one, but it's not the knife I want to put as one of my 6 synthetics. The one I want to put here is this one. Now, they don't do, or haven't done, synthetic versions of their Premier range knives, and when I got this one it was absolutely unique. There was not another one in the world. Since then I think they made 3 or 4 more, so there's a few of them now, but this one is kind of a posh acrylic, because that's real gold set in a green acrylic. Rough Rider did something similar with some copper knives, but this is with gold, not copper, but real gold. So that's a nice knife. Now, I don't collect American knives particularly, but I don't collect GECs for a number of reasons. I'm slightly skeptical about whether they're truly traditional knives, because a lot of modern automated processes that go into them, including the sort of CNC cutting and grinding, tumble polishing and so forth of the blades. But I could almost forgive that, because I think that's sort of the idea of the boy with a hammer forging out blades is perhaps just not a thing anymore. But the other thing is they then rivet the knives together and they don't dish their liners. So to me, that's not really what I want. And the other thing is, of course, I think there's a real bubble when it comes to their prices. You know, they become ridiculous. I picked this one up cheap off the Apostle P. It actually had sat and went to a Saturday price drop. I think I picked it up for about $70 or $80, which I thought was a good enough price. It's one of only 4 GECs that I've got, but 3 of them, 2 are micarta. This one is this salmon acrylic, and the other one's bone, but 3 out of 4 are synthetic materials. Now, next, Case are famous for their yellow Delrin. Now, they're not the only people that used it. I had a quite nice Barlow by Remington. I Can't remember anyway. I gave it to Warthog, and he sent me some lovely stuff in return, including 2 of those Worstenholm knives, including one of them was mother of pearl. And they gave me 4 knives. The mother of pearl one, I think it might have been this one as well, and 2 Kershaw, Japanese Kershaw knives that I really like. Anyway, case to this yellow Delrin. It's kind of one of the things they're sort of known for, and their sort of budget end knives are often in it. Now this one is at that budget end of their range, but it's CV steel, this one, rather than stainless, and in the yellow Delrin, so it's kind of although it's a modern material, it's kind of a classic. So unfortunately this one's the main blade is just a wee bit too long to be UK legal to carry. The Taylor's version of it, Taylor's Eyewitness version, has the same length of cutting edge on the main blade, but it has a shorter ricasso, which just brings it under the 3 inches, which I thought was very clever. So there's 4. Number 5. This isn't it, it's just an introduction. Following on from that Case Delrin, this is a Delrin Sodbuster, and Case trademarked the name Sodbuster in 1967, but it's not a patent design because the Sodbuster patent's been going since I think the 1600s. It's an old German-Austrian sort of pattern. The folding butcher is what it translates to in the German name. But Sodbuster, the farmer's knife, was a term that Case trademarked in 1967. Now, so I'll put that one in because I want a bit of variety here. This one here, in some ways, harks back to the original folding butchers, because this one is by Schrade Imperial. This is a super cheap knife. I mean, these are budget knives. I think in America you can buy these for $30 or $42. This one you can buy for £8 in the UK, which is remarkable value for money. But Schrade was a German knife maker originally, who took his business over to America. So in a way, this harks back to that original design. Now, the final knife, the 6th knife I want to bring in, is not a pocket knife. I've got plenty of synthetic pocket knives, but this one is one that has some significance to me. Let me just move these out of the way a little bit, make a bit of room. Oh, it's a little bit bigger than the pocket knives, and that's this. Now, this obviously has a synthetic handle, and it's not exactly the best quality knife ever in the history of the cutlery trade, but it's significant to me because it's the first sheath knife I ever had. I bought one from a little shop called Tommy's, which was a sort of newsagents and grocers in Dalgety Bay in Fife in Scotland, which is where I kind of went to primary school. I was there for about 5 or 6 years. But anyway, I bought one of these, but of course, being young and a bit stupid, I used to throw it, and I discovered the hard way that the tang only comes to about here, because the handle broke about there, and I was never able to get it to go back together. I don't think we had such great glues in those days, and it was just a case of what we had in the house, and maybe it didn't work. Now, this knife is actually made by Richards or Richards, and it's marked Solingen, Germany. So it probably was made in Germany, but the Richards the Richards company in Germany and the Richards company in Sheffield are actually the same company. When they brought their business over to Sheffield was just around the time of the Second World War, and the idea of having a German sounding name wasn't good for business, shall we say. So they changed it, they anglicised it to Richards. And they went on eventually they were almost the last man standing in Sheffield. They were the last major manufacturer. They owned the Wolstenholme and Rogers names for a while, but they sold them on to the Eggington Group. But anyway, this is going to be my 6th and last. Let me push all these back into this frame because I moved them all and now they're all in the frame. This will be my 6th synthetic handled knife for Thrifty Kniffy's Open Tag. I just cut this little bit of video in. It probably won't match up with the editing very well, but the thing I was just going to say is I just told you that I broke this knife and then this one isn't broken. The reason being that this one came up as part of a collection that was being sold, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to buy just this one knife, and I probably paid over the odds for it, and it's probably worth less than a tenner, and I think I paid about 25 quid for it. But the important thing was it was the same as the one that I had, so it kind of has a little place in my heart. Anyway, back to the main video. So thank you all for watching. If you like this stuff, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of it, please subscribe, and if you want notifications, remember to ring the bell. Thank you very much.